It's funny, we actually just announced a new overall interviewing process for the company on Friday that I certainly did not develop by myself, but was definitely pretty actively involved in. Um, and so I'll give you sort of the rundown of the overall process. Um, we essentially have a pretty standardized process for design, and that standardization is very intentional. Um, there's sort of I think of it as like kind of two. I'll say it's sort of three processes. The first process is what I might call kind of like the upper funnel, and this is somewhat analogous to in the old in-person model um, of like a phone screen. So generally with candidates, we'll do one or two phone screens. The difference between one and two is if we do two, the first one's typically just a sort of pure informational, so non-evaluative. It's just a chance to have the candidate ask questions about the role, learn more about mystery, learn more about kind of the types of problems that we're solving, answer a lot of these type questions. And then the second one is an evaluative interview where we kind of dive into a candidate's work. Depending on the candidate, this can be, a professionally curated website that they have. It can also be, a PDF presentation that they have. I have even had interviews with candidates where they just sort of rummage around their desktop folders, and that actually can sometimes be the best type, where somebody's really getting into the weeds on how they made a decision. So that first kind of like case study, like kind of portfolio work deep dive is meant to be fairly unstructured and really just to kind of like understand how candidates solve problems and thinks through their design solutions and validates them and what their overall design processes are like. And then we get into like a series of interviews that are with myself and the design team once we hire it, and the rest of our sort of cross-functional stakeholders. That's on the order of about 5 interviews. Um, and depending on the role, there will be so for the product role, I should say, that will be a mix of engineering, product, and other sort of business stakeholders outside of our uh, product design tech organization. And then for the visual design position, that is will be a mix of folks from sales and marketing, and again, somebody from sort of an outside perspective. And then lastly, one of the things that we're introducing into the process more consistently is a founder interview. Since we're still a relatively early stage company, we it's sort of important at this point that everyone in the company sort of has a sort of sense of the company's overall vision and direction. And so while that founder interview is evaluative, in a lot of ways, it's more sort of an opportunity to kind of get into the mindset of Shane or Brennan, our two co-founders, uh, and think about like sort of like what their overall vision is for the company, and how the role that they'll be coming into fits in with that. Um, I should say neither Shane nor Brennan are particularly intimidating. They're both very charming, and Shane very much was one of the reasons I came to Mystery. He gave me a good sell on it.